Alright, so I did 100 arena attempts. This is not going to be all of them in one video. This is just one random run. But this took quite a while. This took like over a week, I think. And my goal was to beat Cleanup's record. There have been a few people who have done this. So far, Cleanup has the highest score of 75 wins out of 100. So that is the benchmark that has been set. That is what I'm trying to beat. I have played a lot of Arena. I do like it a lot. It's obviously a lot of RNG, but it's also like, a great way to just have fun with the game, I think. And 75 seemed reasonable. I've gotten like 11 in a row. I actually got my best 12 in a row during this 100 attempts. But at the same time, like I also lost 3 in a row. So that was really devastating to the win streak. I'll just kind of explain some like general tips and stuff on how I think you can win in arena. And also if you want to try this out, like feel free to. I think it's quite the journey, and you'll probably learn a lot from arena. I know I learned quite a bit. For example, like herd effects really common. So mosquito not quite as good as I was thinking. A lot of times in like lobbies and stuff, you want to go mosquito, pop melon late game. But a lot of times it can just hurt in the mid game because it'll activate like peacocks and camels and all of that stuff. And yeah, so one thing that was really apparent to me is that skunk is really nasty in arena. For whatever reason, it seems like a lot of teams just have one big unit, or like if you run into elephant camel or like a snake team, there's a lot of different things that snake ends up countering, and it just ends up being a huge deal. I won a lot of arena games that I really shouldn't have just because I had like a level 2 skunk, and that just like carried me. So yeah, I think skunk is extremely good. And then also like croc and snake are pretty nice as well because you'll run into at least a decent amount of summon teams. It's I would say not like the most common thing, but just in case, it's usually pretty nice to go like tiger snake as well. That's a pretty good way to win. Dodo rooster also still very good. Rabbit is alright. I don't think it worked out every time to go rabbit, but if you do happen to get pretty lucky with food, I mean, obviously you can get scaling really quickly. Rabbit Dodo kind of evens out the health and the attack, and it kind of works out pretty nicely. But yeah, Dodo Rooster in the late game usually pretty nice. It's kind of similar to Skunk-ish, where you have just a ton of attack. So if you go Dodo Rooster, you don't really need Skunk. But scaling is obviously really important in Arena. The biggest, I think, scaler that I used was Seal. Seal is just like super good. And I think pretty much just like if you can get it on turn 9 or 10, you pretty much take it every time. Usually, unless if you're on like 7, 8, 9 wins and you're close to winning already, you want to try to roll for chocolate on turns 9 and 10 to get it to immediate level 2 before you actually start buying food. At least that's what I have been trying to do. Anyway, I should just spoil the results. I didn't actually mention, like, what did I actually get? Did I beat 75 out of 100? And the answer is no, I did not. I got pretty close. I got off to a really hot start. I won 12 in a row pretty early on. And for the first half, I was cruising. I was feeling good. I was like, all right, I should be able to do this as long as I don't choke massively. I was at like an 80% win rate. I was doing really well. And then at some point I lost 3 in a row, and like I don't know what happened, but things just started to go downhill from there. And yeah, it really took a turn for the worst in the second half. It's gonna happen. I mean, even if you have a 75% win rate, you I guess that's like a 1 out of 64 chance, right? So 1 out of 4 every, and then yeah, I think that's the chance of losing 3 in a row. I don't know. I guess it's not guaranteed to happen or anything, but it just, I don't know. It also depends on what time you play. I think this could just be a complete placebo effect. Also, I'm surprised I skipped Squirrel there. Squirrel is usually very good because it just works so well with Seal. But I guess I deemed that I already had enough scaling with Rabbit and Seal that I don't actually need more scaling with Rabbit here. Usually just 2 scalers is good enough, and try to fit like other tempo units or units with good abilities, depending on how far ahead or behind you are. And right now, I've already got the scaling, and I'm going to get like so many stats that this run just pretty much buy food. And I think it's a good example of how good Rabbit Seal is. I got early Seal here, but still. Dodo Seal, just so good. Anytime you find a rabbit as well, or I mean, like, anytime you find a cow, you get so many stats. And the Dolphin for the anti-scorpion tech, really nice. I think winning in arena is a little harder now because you can't get melon as consistently. You used to be able to get melon all the time, and that was a huge difference in a lot of teams because for some reason people didn't really like pill turtles very frequently. but now you can't really consistently get melon, so I've been taking a lot of garlic. I think garlic is great. You run into a lot of teams where it does make a huge difference. But yeah, okay, how many did I actually win? I keep forgetting to actually say this. I won 72, and I think I really kind of gave up towards the end. I'm not gonna lie. I think I could have gotten a little better, but I don't know. It was just unfortunate how it worked out. I was like ahead for so long, and then I just slowly kind of lost more than I won. And yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I definitely think I could do better if I tried to do it again, but it's so many attempts. Probably not going to happen. I do hope they release that ranked arena, which will be really interesting. It seemed like most people were hoping that that would come out, so I'm hoping that that does as well. And that should be a great way to just get me back into playing arena. A great way for like everyone to get back into super auto pets if like you're not interested right now. I think it seems like it would do nothing but be good, especially since it's going to be like two separate things. You have an unranked and then you have a ranked if you just want to like mess around, you know. Okay, the other good scaler is cat. So the food scaling, like I said in my tier list video, is really good right now. You can go with monkey. Monkey is also a great scaler as well, but for the most part, I try to force like seal or cats pretty much every time. And I guess, this was a kind of high rolly game, so not every game is like this, but I am on lethal, so it's always scary. But there's a lot of arena like matchmaking RNG. You can sometimes go against just absolutely broken teams. Sometimes you go against teams that are like giving up and it's just free wins. So, you know, there's just a lot of RNG involved and that kind of stuff. But yeah, what else is there to say? 72 out of 100. I think realistically, you could probably get like 80% win rate if you really did super well and I think played very optimally. But I think I made quite a few mistakes. There's a couple runs. Actually, I wanted to mention this. There's 4 runs where I lost at 9 wins by 1 HP. I kept track, and I can't tell you how many 9 wins I actually got. I felt like I got so many. To only lose the very last one, it's so frustrating because it felt like such a big difference. And okay, yeah, I should mention, I'll have a link to almost every single run as just a screenshot, so you can go through, see all of the finishing teams. You can see, like, I don't know how many 9 wins I got. There'll just be a link in the description. And yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I don't think I'm gonna do this again, but it was fun, I guess. I can't say it was that fun towards the end, but the initial part was fun. It's just like, again, it's kind of demoralizing to be doing really well and then kind of choke the end. That's almost worse. I mean, that is pretty much the worst way to do it. I would rather have a bad start and kind of claw my way back to 72 wins rather than start off really hot and then kind of fizzle out towards the end. But shout outs to Cleanup. Some other people who have attempted this. I know that Too Many Bagels has gotten like 70, and Aaron, I think, who suggested it in my Discord, who got me to do it, got 66. I think Kyogre and Dead Bidoof are currently doing some attempts, so, you know, if you want to just talk about how things are going, you can join my Discord and see how things go there. You can see the crazy stats that the food build has gotten me here. So many, almost 50 HP units here. Dodo Rooster, the classic. There's so many different ways to win. I mean, if you look through the post, you'll see I won one with like Worm. I won one with like Elephant Blowfish. Having as many possible venues, I guess, to actually getting to 10 wins is a pretty important thing. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and see you.